I'm Phoenix, and I'm so happy to see you all here. I want to say that you have great courage to be here today on this topic, and thank you for that. Thank you for those of you showing up live, and thank you for those of you listening to the recording. This is a challenging topic, but I think it affects practically everybody I know right now, which is why we're doing this. Welcome to the Hollow Bone Circle, where we meet monthly and we bring the meditations from the Hollow Bone of Healing to apply to different educational topics, showing you how we live this work. This is not a technique, this is not a modality, this is a way of living, and this is how we demonstrate that to you. So today's topic is navigating transitions with ease, and that topic came through from spirit, but it was no accident. So let me tell you a little story here. Um, I was doing a shamanic journey recently, and for those of you that are unfamiliar with that term, it's a guided meditation, or maybe not so guided meditation, to the beat of a drum or rattle or rhythmic music that lulls your mind into the theta state. The kind that I do is more of what we would call Western shamanism. So it's a generic type of meditation. It's not affiliated with any one culture. So I'm not saying that I'm doing a Toltec technique and I'm not doing a Lakota technique. It's just a generic guided meditation to the beat of a drum. And my purpose was to talk with a power animal when I went. Now, a power animal, for those of you that might not be familiar with that, could be any animal actually that has the attributes that we are wanting to either cultivate within ourselves or bring out that we already have and we haven't been using them. So I really wanted to meet with a new power animal that I had met recently by the name of cave bear, who is a very ancient type of bear. It was around at the time of the origin of humans as we know ourselves to be. And so cave bear is really ancient, but really matter of fact. And I really wanted that concreteness in my life. So I went to his cave, but there was a sign outside the cave. A shamanic journey is very visual for me. There was a sign outside that said, not available until May. Well, he was hibernating, right? So I couldn't talk to him. But Al had taken me there. So I said to Al, can you either help me or can you take me to someone who can? Al said, you can come to my nest. Okay. So I went to Al's nest. Al sat on 3 eggs and I sat off to the side in a nest and I waited for Al to speak. And the first thing that Al said is, you are in transition. Now, I'd been sick for a while, and so I immediately jumped to, are you telling me I'm dying? And Al just blew up and said, come on, you know what I'm talking about. You've been through this before. You know how it works. And immediately sent me images of major transitions that I've made in my life, always guided by spirit. Quitting my job and starting on my own to help people find their way, find their path with source. And quitting relationships that didn't work for me because they weren't supportive and we were not aligned. Quitting everything, moving across country, changing and letting go of all the old, stepping into a new, even into a new name. And the list just went on and on and on. And yeah, okay, I get it now. That's the kind of transition you're talking about. All right. Well, there's more to that story, and I'll share that in a minute. But that got my attention. It really got my attention in a big way because it made me realize that in the last 6 weeks, I've heard nothing but people saying, I think something's going to change. I don't know exactly what it is. Or maybe I do know what it is, but I don't know how to make it happen. I just hope I'm ready for it. I don't know what it is. I just feel different. And I think everything is going to shift, but I don't know what that means. And I've heard this from literally everybody I've been talking to in the last 6 weeks. Well, certainly some of that is the collective consciousness of the unknown that's going on in the world, but it's more than that too. These are signs from spirit, right? This didn't come from our thinking about it. It's coming in as a feeling, it's coming in as a knowing, it's coming in as a divine inspiration to kind of prepare us, right? So if you look at the three major words in the title of what we're doing today, navigating transitions with ease, right? Each one of those words, well, the whole title was given to me by Spirit, but given to me for a big reason. The first word, navigating, implies that we're making our way through, right? That we have a GPS that's going to tell us what to do. And sure, if we were an airplane or a ship, we would be, plugging in our destination and saying, okay, take us there. We're not airplanes and we're not ships, and we may not even know where we're going. But we do have a wonderful GPS system that's known as Source, Spirit, whatever word you want to use in there, higher self, higher power, meaning something that knows more than you do, right? And tapping into that is really going to help our transitions with ease. But we may not know that. If this is your first big transition, you may not know that. You may just be feeling something and want to push it away. It's like scary to think about. Or it may be that you know what you want to do, or you know what's going to happen and you still want to push it away because getting there can be so terrifying. Or the thought of changing can be so terrifying, right? Or the thought of all the what ifs when you change can be so terrifying. So navigating spirit helps you to do this with ease and with loving support. Okay? You're not doing it alone. You don't have to do anything alone. You can do this with ease and you can have the loving support with you. And that's what today's about. Now, when you look at the second word, transitions, I had to go back to owl because I went, okay, so I'm in transition. What does that mean? And I'm thinking and I'm trying to work it out, and my head wasn't, didn't have all the answers. Let's put it that way. So I went back to owl, who seemed to have a lot of answers. And I said, let's talk about transitions. And owl was like, oh, yeah, okay. Well, basically, a transition is just a shift in consciousness. And it can have many, many forms. Like the form that you immediately jumped to was that your body was done and you were moving into your spirit more. That certainly is a shift in consciousness, but that's not what we're talking about for you. There's other kinds of shifts in consciousness that can take place. There's the emotional one, where maybe you just decide one day, you don't want to act that way anymore. Or you don't want to react that way anymore, whatever that might be. Like maybe you would get easily triggered at something that someone would say and you'd blow up, or you'd get irritated, or you get mad, and you just decide, I'm not going to do that anymore. That's ridiculous. I'm just going to stay in a neutral state. That's clearly their stuff. It doesn't have to be my stuff. I'm going to be in a more neutral state from now on. And you make that decision and you catch yourself when you're not doing that. And then you refine that as you get better at it. That's a shift in consciousness. Maybe you have a mental belief system that's not working for you, that suddenly gobsmacks you in the head because we don't always know that they're not working for us. And maybe it's something as simple as, or not so simple as, everybody else can have a miracle, but that's not for me. And you suddenly realize how ridiculous that sounds. Why would I be any different from anybody else? Why can't I have a miracle too? I think I can. I'm going to accept a miracle. I'm going to look for a miracle. I'm going to expect it today. And now you've had a shift in your mental layer, in your mental way of thinking, a consciousness shift. Maybe you're having a spiritual shift, right? Maybe you've suddenly decided that it's okay to trust spirit. It really is okay to believe the voices in your head or however you receive your information and to act on it, which can be very terrifying to a lot of people, and especially those around you who might expect you to act in other ways, right? But that becomes a consciousness shift from being told what to do by people to being told and know what to do. from spirit as it comes into your heart. Huge consciousness shift. And Owl said, here's the thing. You could be making a shift on one level, but it's going to happen on all the levels. That's the way it is. So everything seems to change. And that, intuitively we know that. And that's what's terrifying to us too. So the big question becomes, how do we navigate our transitions with ease? Well, when Owl reminded me that I've done this a lot before, Owl actually said, and remember, what's the first thing we always tell you to do? Let go of the old before we can help you with the new. We tell you this all the time. And I'm like, you're right. You're right. What does that mean? Right? Because depending on your circumstances, it can mean different things. Sometimes for me, it's just cleaning out a closet, cleaning out the clutter, because the clutter in your life is the clutter in your closet. The clutter in your mind is the clutter in your closet, right? Clutter's clutter. You start cleaning and it's going to make shifts for you, right? Sometimes it can be that simple. Sometimes it's a little more challenging than that. Let go of the old. Shift your old emotional patterns into new ones. Shift your mental belief systems into new ones. Shift your way of living into a new one. Let go of everything you know about your identity. Move across country with nothing to a place where you know no one. Change your name and start doing what you love. That was a big one. That was a really big one. And how do you get to that place? Well, this is where it becomes the way of living, right? You don't have to do shamanic journeys if that's not your thing. But any type of sitting still for 5 minutes and asking and allowing yourself to receive an answer, whether you're knowing it, feeling it, sensing it, hearing it, seeing it, and acting on that answer will speed you on the path of ease with loving support. Because what's coming through for you is spirit saying, I love you so much, and I see only great opportunities for you. And all I'm asking you to do is step into them. That's all. I'll help you every step of the way. I'll make sure you're safe. I'll make sure you're successful. But would you just take the first step? And all the others will be easier. That's what Spirit is saying to you. Just take the first step. That becomes your first step in the path of allowing and trusting. You're allowing Spirit to tell you or suggest to you what would be a good first step or second or third or fourth, and trusting that when you act on it, it really is going to be for your highest and best. And Spirit knows exactly what it's doing. It may not be what you think it is. That first step, the second step, the 10th step, whatever, may not be what you think it should be. And that's okay, because you're allowing and you're trusting. Here's the thing about that path of ease and the path of trust. If you didn't do that and you were trying to navigate your way through your transition by thinking about it, well, our brain only knows so much. And so we can only create from a limited place. But Spirit knows all possibilities and sees all possibilities and brings to us whatever's for our highest and best. And we don't even know what that could be like unless we're allowing for it. And the other alternative, if we don't navigate our transitions, even with ease, without ease, is you're going to be stuck, whether you know it or not, in the same place where you are right now. And sometimes I don't realize I'm stuck. I just think it's comfortable. And that's usually when I get ready for a big transition, when I'm comfortable. Because how else do we grow? We don't grow when we're comfortable. We grow when we're uncomfortable. Something has to make us say, I don't want to do this anymore. And it may not be our idea initially. Like when Spirit said, you need to move across country and leave everything behind, I was like highly resistant. Are you kidding me? Why would I do that? I mean, that didn't sound like a good idea to me at all. But the more I sat with it, the more I thought, yeah, I have been saying I'm not very happy here. I can't do my job. I can't do my work here. I didn't know that meant I had to change everything, but okay, if I do, here's how I'd like it to look. And that's the other thing about ease. Here's how I'd like it to look. Here's how I'd like it to be. And I said to Spirit, when Spirit said, move to Sedona, you're going to be moving to Sedona. I'm like, no, I don't know anybody there. It's okay. No, it's not okay. If I don't know anybody there, you're asking me to do hard things here. And Spirit said, well, what do you want? I want a safe place to live. I want a place that's beautiful and affordable and close to hiking because it's Sedona and Sedona has fabulous hiking. I want a job where I can do my life purpose and it sustains me. I want a place where I have my first workshop. I want all my workshops there. I that's what I want. And I want friends because I didn't know anybody. And Spirit said, okay, you've got this week in your calendar. Nothing's there. Nothing sticks. Go there. We'll make it happen. I'm like, really? That sounds awfully easy. And it was. I went to Sedona, and within 48 hours, I had a job, I had a place to live, I had my first workshop scheduled, and I found a friend. 48 hours. Trust. Trust. I'll never look back on any one of my transitions and with regret. Only joy. I've made the biggest growth through every one of my transitions, and everybody I've talked to who's gone through transition has said the same thing. It's never been terrible. I was afraid. I was in fear a lot. And I kept checking back in with my angels and my guides and source and spirit and saying, are you sure this is going to work? Are you sure this is a good idea? And I kept hearing, would we be suggesting this if it wasn't for your highest and best? We are not going to get you here only to abandon you. We are going to take care of you all the way. Okay. Okay. Navigating transitions with ease. That's what today is all about. How do you get there? So, what we're going to do is a guided meditation. And in this guided meditation, we're going to start from a beautiful place because we always start from a beautiful place in nature because nature helps us to feel grounded, connected, connected to source, connected to the earth. It helps us to just feel comfortable and at peace. And maybe even some love, unconditional love in there. And then from there, we're going to invite in a helper who's going to help you navigate your transitions with ease. Now, you may be in one or more of those stages. Maybe you know what your navigation is, like what's your endpoint. And maybe you just need to know your first step. Or maybe you need some healing around it. Like I needed a lot of healing around moving to Sedona. I did a lot of healing work around that to let go of my fear, to let go of my limitations, to let go of my old, right? Maybe you're in a place where you don't know what your transition is. Like, I'm not real clear, but I'm starting to get some more information and I'd like more information. So maybe that's what's going to come in for you. Maybe you're needing help with the ease part, allowing and trusting and believing that it's for the highest and best. And what does that mean? And what's my first step? And what do I do now? And, that kind of thing. So if that's what you need, that's what you're going to get. That's the beautiful thing about source, spirit, God, goddess, higher self, whatever term you want to use there. It gives you what you need when you need it. As long as you're asking and open for it, right? So you're here or you're listening to the recording, you're asking, you're open. Let's make this easier. It doesn't have to be hard. I'm not saying it won't be challenging at times, but challenge helps us to grow. Hard keeps us in a place that we don't want to be. So we don't choose hard, we choose challenging is okay. Ease is even better, right? So if you're ready to do some meditation, if you're ready to navigate your transitions with ease in whatever step you need at this time, let's get ready to do some meditation. Oh, one other thing. At the very end here, I'm going to change this up a little bit. And because some of you may really want to stay in that place, that deep, deep place for a longer time. I get that. I'll invite you at that moment when we're finished to leave the meeting so that we don't disturb your reverie of where you are. For those of you that choose to stay on, I'm going to invite you to just put something in the chat, just a brief thing in the chat that would, like 4 or 5 words, a sentence, whatever, that would kind of indicate anything you'd like to share. And then I'm going to open it up for questions because this is not an easy topic. I don't pretend to have all your answers, but I might be able to help you navigate it or to help you with the ease part. And a good meditation, a good journey can bring up a lot of questions sometimes. Like I had to go back to OWL several times. Oh, and just ask, let's talk some more about transition. Let's talk more about my transition, So sometimes it just brings up more chances to do more meditations or journeys. And sometimes it's just something that maybe somebody else might know something about and can help guide you a little bit more. So that's how we're going to do this. Okay. Wow. I see it was 11:22 when I finished talking. That was pretty profound. Messages from the angels with those numbers. You got to love it. Okay. I'm turning off my video. I'm going to start some beautiful music and we are going to meditate. Okay. Good. Let's just take a few deep breaths. Feeling your body relaxing more and more with each exhale. And maybe slow down your breathing just a little bit. So that your brain waves will also slow down. Your nervous system will slow down. And your circulation will slow down. Beautiful. We remind ourselves that change is a natural product of being human and living in this world. And it doesn't have to be feared. And it doesn't have to be hard. We have loving support for every step of the way. And now that we remember that, we can ask for it every moment of the day if that's what we need. So find yourself in a beautiful place in nature. A place that helps you to feel calm, peaceful, and connected in whatever way that means to you. sitting or lying down in that beautiful place and just taking in the beautiful details, the rich details of Mother Nature, Mother Earth. As we thank Mother Earth for all the blessings of light that she gives us through our trees, our plants, the animals, the soil, the water, the very air that we breathe is a direct result of Mother Earth. And we thank you, Mother Earth, for this blessing. Just feeling the richness of color around you, the healing green, the serene blue, maybe even the purification of snow if you have it where you are. And if that's too cold, maybe the warmth of the sun where you have that. And we thank the universe for the warmth of the sun and the moon and the stars, all the light that comes through them. It blesses our very existence on a daily basis. Smelling the fragrance of all the beautiful trees and plants, water and air around you. Feeling the temperature of the day on your skin. Mostly just feeling that peace that comes from your connection to all that is. And expanding that peace from your heart throughout all cells in your body. And into your energy field, helping every layer, every cell, every part of you to feel at peace, to feel that connection, that loving support that comes from our deep and profound connection in our hearts. And just sitting with that peace for a moment or two. Holding such deep and profound gratitude for the ability to feel this. You may notice that there's a being that's making its way towards you. It's a being of light and it's a being of love. It may hold a familiar form, like maybe an angel or a guide, or it may be more like a star, just shining radiant light. Or it could be a power animal. Could be an ancient ancestor. It could be your future self. All are possible. But the one thing that is consistent is they come with love. And just feel that love coming into your heart. I am here for you. Allowing yourself to see, sense, feel, or know the presence of your helper. I am here for you. And asking your helper, how can you help me today? And the answer will be there for you. And so will the help and support you need at this time. Allow yourself to receive. And I'll be very quiet while you are receiving. Now, some of you may be deep into this with so much information coming in or so much healing. It's just the perfect place for you to be. And you want to stay there as long as possible. It's okay. You can leave the meeting at this time. And others of you may just want to, maybe you're feeling really complete right now. And that's okay too. You have what you need for this moment. And maybe you even have more questions. And that's okay too. A good meditation or journey leads you to the next one and the next. So if you still have your helper around, make sure you thank your helper. You'll be seeing them again, over and over again, as you make your transition with ease. And if you're still around and you want to stay on, gently bring yourself back into your body and back into your room, where I invite you to just sit quietly for a minute, reflecting. And when you're ready, you can bring yourself back. And if you'd like to put something in the chat, feel free to do so. A phrase or a couple of words that helps you to know that you're still connected and you had a really rich experience. And when you are ready, you can turn on your video. All right. We have so beautiful. I'm in tears. Time for action. That's exciting. I felt invited by my guides to come back again. Lovely. Yes, they are always there for you. Felt the love. Yes. Outpouring of support. Wonderful. Beautiful cosmic connection with strong support and tender care. Beautiful. Ah, dolphins came in and helped me. Heart is so open. I love this so much. Oh, isn't that wonderful? We just needed a reminder, right? A skunk slowly walked across the snow. Don't know what this was about. We'll have to do this again. Lovely, lovely. Lots of messages in that one. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, whew. As I promised, I am here if you have questions. I don't know that I have all the answers, but I might be able to help you navigate, or I might be able to assist you with ease. But if you'd like to ask a question, just unmute and jump on in.
So how do I navigate? I'm the one that wrote about the skunk. What's my next step to go back and figure out? Because I didn't get any clear messages. I was very relaxed and I kind of felt energy moving around. And
Good.
it really opened up into this winter scene, and it's winter where I am. And I've had a skunk visiting my yard odoriferously the last few nights. And so it just slowly moved across the landscape, but I'm like, okay, what's my next step to try to get more clarity?
Well, I think that you wrote it in your paragraph there when you said, we'll have to do this again. And I would advise that. And I would advise you to ask to meet with skunk, because it may be your power animal or it may be just a messenger. And skunk, I know that it has kind of a bad rap because of its smell, but when you look at it, and depending on where you are in the country, there's different kinds of skunks. There's the one that's primordially black with white stripes,
Yeah,
but we also have the kind that are white with black stripes.
I never knew that.
Yes. And, you know, they're both about raising Kundalini, which is raising your energy so that you're more in touch with your source and with your spirit. And you've got a great start. The snow would also, to me, indicate the north. In the wheel of life, the direction of north is about the incubation and preparation for your new beginnings. So you actually have a couple of messages there to act on
Yeah,
and to ask more about.
yeah, I did ask what the message was, but I wasn't perceiving whatever it was. Yeah,
Right. Sometimes it doesn't come in the way we think it should.
right. Right.
But that's okay. You still got a lot to work with there. So congratulations. That's exciting, Joe. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, deep peace. Excellent. Would anybody else have a question? Oh, yes. In the medicine card, skunk means walk your talk. Thank you, Karen. That got Joe all excited. Oh, it's wonderful. Joni.
Hey, um, uh, mine was really cool with dolphins, and I'm like on the beach, and we have a beautiful beach here. It's like white, beautiful white sand, and um, and I see them out, and I'm waving to them, and all of a sudden I'm with them, swimming with them, and it was so joyful. And
Oh,
about that time, you said, "Now you should be seeing a bean of some sort," and I said, "Hey, are you guys my beans? Are you, or do I need to go back to the beach and look for?" And they didn't say anything. They just kept me with them. So they did a cool thing where they circled me, and you did clockwise, where maybe removing old patterns and old whatever. And then that went on for a long time, and then they shifted. And oh, when they were doing that, there was a clicking
oh,
and a chirping. And
oh.
then when it went back the other way, there was a sonic kind of, almost you couldn't hear. I'm like, ooh, raise me up. I got my heart open. I got my body open, I'm like, do whatever you're doing. Keep doing it. So we were all in the water doing it. It was just really wonderful. Wonderful.
Sounds amazing.
And what you said, I had someone come to me yesterday for healing, and very, very sick person, younger person. And she didn't say a whole lot to me about what was going on. She just laid down, and I knew where I could see when I did the hollow bone where all the angels were working. And I'm like, what's going on there? So I just held some extra energy at the end with my hands. But it was exactly where she needed it.
Wow. Always. Always.
And their words for her was to take one step at a time, which is what you were saying. And it made me cry because it's so we're all open to it, but there's so many who aren't. And she was a very sick person, but doing the best she could, you know. She didn't even tell me everything till the very end. But I said, you know, your guides are telling me to tell you to take 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, and don't look at the whole, don't look at everything. Just take a step at a time. And you'll see that before long, you'll have gotten so far. And I said, and also know that everyone's with you, guiding you, helping you. You're not alone.
Good.
Then I have to say this for Karen, she had a bunch of dogs come in. I said, I see a little dog, little blondie brown dog, and I see this big black and white dog. She goes, oh yeah, they passed. I said, they're with you. And then I said, a whole herd came in, like all different. She says, she just smiled so big. I said, they're all with you. And when she was leaving, it was just really, it was hard for me not to cry, you know. But because I just knew what, you know, it's almost like you want to help, but you know, you're only here as the hollow bone. You know, this is their journey. This is what they're going through. They've wanted to go through this. So, but I just thought when you said take it just a step at a time, that was just really important for her to hear. And I have a little sign that says just 1 step at a time.
Good. Excellent. Thank you for sharing.
What a wonderful, wonderful meditation. Thank you.
Good. Thank you for sharing all that. And Karen, I think I had cut you off accidentally there. Sorry. Did you want to say something or add something?
I just put it in the chat.
Okay. Confidence. Yes.
Yes.
It's so true. Oh, thank you.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much. I really enjoyed that, and I look forward to doing that again.
Good.
As commented that I think my guys were really happy I was there, and I was just being nurtured. I was on the beach as well, but I was just being comforted, saying, "Yeah, you made it. Come on back." It was so, like you just said, Jenny, 1 step at a time, and yes, it's about time I came back to this space, and I can really relate to what you just said as well too. And oh, who doesn't love a skunk with an attitude? That confidence. That's so awesome. I love that. And I really hope that you get to meet your skunk again. But this has been wonderful. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome home, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. Wow. Anybody else have anything you want to say or share or comment on or Joe, your favorite colors are black and white clothing. I love this. I mean, you can't make this up, right? I mean, that's what makes us trust this more, right? When we start realizing all the divine synchronicities that are connected here, it's just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Okay, Skunk is telling me that I'm supposed to share this.
Good.
I did a workshop with Penelope Smith at Spring Farm in central New York. And our assignment was to talk to an animal that we might not find too appealing or might be a little afraid of or whatever. And I had a lovely conversation with a skunk. And so I was using the practice questions and said, what do you like about being a skunk? And the answer I got was, what's not to like? Beautiful, beautiful coat, live close to the earth mother, beautiful aromas from the earth. But it cracked Penelope up because the skunk sounded like a New Yorker. What's not to like? So anyway, and I asked her what means the most to her, and she said her children.
Oh, I think you just got another confirmation on that one. I'm seeing the head nodding.
For what it's worth, that's what Skunk was taking the opportunity to be heard.
Beautiful, just beautiful. Oh, thank you so much, Karen. And that's how it works. This is how the ease gets started, and you find all these divine synchronicities. And I wanted to say too, yes, it is one step at a time. And if you really get to an overwhelmed state, as I did when I was trying to move to Sedona on a deadline, trying to give away everything and sell whatever I could and just, move there in just a bunch of boxes. I got to the point where I would say, just tell me 5 things that have to be done today and help me to believe that the other 5,000 things on my list will get done in their own divine timing as well. And it always worked. It always worked. Sometimes the 5 things got done quickly, and then I could do something like play. What a novel concept. Or, just do something different and shake up the energy a little bit. And sometimes those 5 things would take all day. And that's okay too, because then they were done. And then the next day I went through the same thing, give me 5 more things, give me 5 more things. And in that way, it made it manageable. And I wasn't too overwhelmed. And I was able to accomplish what I needed to in that time frame that had, well, I knew I had to move by a certain time period. And so that was from spirit, and I needed to do that. So if that helps, when you get overwhelmed, just ask for 5 things. And even if they make no sense to you, do them anyway. Like one was, go get your oil changed today. And when I did, it was like, hey, did you know you got a problem over here? But we can fix that. We've got a special going on right now. It's like, yeah, okay, well, fix it because it's going to need to happen. So, you never know. You just never know. So. Wow, you guys are amazing. Well, I just thank you so much for having the courage to show up, to listen to the recordings, to follow your path, and to choose to make it one of ease, because that is our choice. And when you're working with spirit and you're letting spirit lead you every step of the way, you're going to see what you would like to see, or even something better. Allow for this something better so that it can come through, and it will every time. So blessings on your journey, everyone, and blessings on the end of the year here, our calendar year anyway. Thank you so much, everyone. Blessings to you.